also recording this training, and we'll upload to YouTube later, and share the link with you guys so you guys have everything in place. But looking at the agenda, I think the goal that we kind of just from the discussion that what we want to establish today is how kind of just the back end of Shopify, how everything lay out, how you guys be able to navigate through Shopify. There's some basic content that if you want to edit, I also gonna show you how to. Um, the main key of Shopify is basically the product functions and how you be able to edit the product and how you import, export the product feed from Shopify to the Excel file that we'll be giving you guys. So that will be also, we'll go over that today as well. I show you guys the order status, where to look at and how or what you will do when an order comes and how you get a notifications or whatnot. I believe the order notification is sent to sales as spelling wire cable. I will double check, but I believe that's what we set it up to. We'll also look at customer tab and the analytics tab. Just so you guys can kind of have the general information on that. And the last stuff that we will look into is the chat program, which is gonna lead to a different backend. So it's a third party plugin. So we'll also cover that today as well. So that's pretty much everything that I have in the training today. Just wanna before we start, just wondering if I missed anything or there's anything that you have in mind. Feel free to kind of just let me know. And I'm sure I go over that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So the first thing that we'll have to do is basically let me log out. So I'm just like a normal link right now. So if I so in the agenda there's a link on the top. If you click on that link, it will lead you to this login, and I forgot to put this in. But this is what the screen will look like when you guys click on that link. So let me put it. So you have to copy that link and put it in there to the store address. But then after that, you just click on next. And then since I already say my password on here, I can use my password. But Leah, I believe that you should already have the log. Did you set up password and username for Shopify yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, sounds good. So yeah, basically you just put in your email and password here. Yep. So then we'll fill that in, logging. And after you click that, it will lead you to the back end of Shopify, which pretty much like this is what the user interface look like. All the things that we'll be going over today, most of them are on the left side. As you can see, the home tab, the orders tab, product tab, customer, marketing app, etc., etc. The other extra thing that we'll walk you through today is on the settings. If you click on settings here, you will see more options for you to kind of edit them. But this is already been established when we build the store for you. So like I say, if you want to change notifications, like when an order coming or like order type of notification, you want to click on this right here, um, and you can customize what the email look like when it goes to a client or customer when they order the products online. But if you scroll down um, to the bottom, this is where you can put in new staff order notifications. Is where you want to put the email of the person in. If there's other people that should be in the loop of knowing when the order coming. So right now, I have myself orders at sterlingwirecable.com and then sales at sterlingwirecable wireandcable.com as the three recipients for the order notification email. Um, and then just more setting in here, which pretty much everything is being configured for you guys. But if you want to click, if you want to kind of just change it the way that you want, there's also in here. If you're not sure about something, feel free to reach out to us as well, because most of this in the email session is actually built by the HTML code, which involve like website coding. So if you're not sure about something, feel free to reach out. But basically, everything that's not in this kind of like mark, um, you guys can actually edit the content of it. So instead of like, for example, for right here, when it says thank you for your purchase, if you want to change it to something like thank you for your order, and things like that, you can also change the content here if you want. Again, anything that's not in a liquid, this is what we call them that have this sign to kind of just mark it as a liquid. Um, the liquid variables. So anything that's not in that tab, guys you guys can just go ahead and change it if you want. So like sometimes if you want to change the marketing verbiage that go out to the client, you can navigate to those and change it on here. And this is couple type of email that you can edit, like the confirmation, the cancel, the refund, it's the abandoned checkout is another thing too. You can click on that and changing the verbiage in here if you feel the need for it. Those are the options. And then if you want to go back outside, the other thing that we want to kind of show you is on the billing. That is where you will be able to find the invoice of all the apps that you kind of running on the back end right now. So I know some of the early questions we have is like you guys receive an invoice through the email, but you weren't sure what they are. So if you guys navigate to the billing section, you'll be able to see that go to bills and under recent bill, if you click on each of them, and then there's a description. But if you click on the drop down icon here, it will tell you what they are and how much they got charged. So there's three apps that basically on a monthly basis right now. Global request the code, which is the request the code functions that you guys have. This is where, let's say, if the client click on a certain product, and instead of buying them, adding them to cart, they do have the option to request a code for that as well. So like let's say if I want 500 of this table, instead of adding to cart, I just add to code. And then this is where people will be able to email you guys what they want or what question they have. So that is the request the code app. TDO Live Chat is a chat program currently on your website right now, which is this bubble right here where it says chat to us or chat with us. And then the last thing, the preloader is the animations of the logo on the homepage. I think this must be cached right now, but if first land to the homepage, it will have that animation kind of pop up and then go to your homepage. So those are the requests for the website views when we first launched the website. Those are the apps, three apps that charging the account on a monthly basis right now. Um, so those,
Okay, so we
this
have
is,
the option to get rid of that preloader if we wanted to. Sorry. Just wanted to
yep,
ask a couple
we could,
about.
yep,
Okay.
um,
Are we
yeah,
able
and
to make that ourselves, or do we have to go to you guys?
um, you could. I can give you how to do it as well. It's basically just on the app. And I think we can go there now as well. So if you go on the app, if you click on delete, that's where you'll be able to get rid of a certain app on here. Um, and the easy shape, I believe, is free versions right now. Um, those are the shipping calculation method. So there's four apps, the three that we just went through, and then the fourth one is the easy ship, which calculate the actual shipping cost when people trying to order a product. And it's on a free version right now. So that's why it's not charging you at the moment. But those are the four apps that we running, and you basically just go to app on the left and click delete them. And then you will lead to like you will prompt to like confirmation page, and that's where you can just delete them out if you want to. And then I believe some of the apps have prorated um, where if you delete them on the day that before it's due date, it might refund some money to you on some app, and some app they don't do prorate. And then if you want to make sure which app it is, we'll just get support. It's where you want to click on, and you'll be able to chat with a person that put in your request for the question that you want to ask about it, and that to uninstall an app, you just go to app, delete, and then it will stop charging the account.
Okay. I have a question about the global request to quote. How is that different from having, just regular input boxes that you would have on a website outside of Shopify?
Um,
Is it any different?
so the reason why we install that is because as a request when we build the website, Sterling Wire Cable want to have the dynamic um, request a code, meaning that when they click on the product, they will be able to request. Because right now, what you mentioned, I believe it's under contact us. So like let's say if someone wants to send you an inquiry, they can just go in here and type in their name, company, phone number, email, and then the question. So like let's say if I want to know more about the this type table, and I might make up the name in the quantity of 5,000. Do you have any discount on them? And then they can just go through normally like this. But for the request code, the difference is, um, like I said, they be able to click on that particular product, and it make it dynamic because depends on what product they viewing, they will add it to the code, and they will be able to add multiple products into one code. Um, so let's say if I add the first one, and then I add another one like this one right here, it add to code. Now I have two different products on the code, three actually. And so when this is what the kind of summary of what products they want to know about, and then their message, and then when they submit a request, it will have all this info with them. So that's why we have that install to your website. So it's just a quicker way for the user to get to like submit the inquiry for a certain product.
Okay, that makes sense. So they don't have to describe anything. It's all on there. Okay.
Yep.
Um,
If we order all three together, and I'm just gonna do a test really quick. Then we here. Um. Okay.
okay. Cool.
And I
Okay,
believe.
that makes.
Yep. And I believe the email should be sending to uh sales or orders. I can't remember. Um. But like after the client submit a code, this is what the notification they see. A confirmation. I mean, so this is just for the client backend. Um, but I think you guys should already receive the notifications on that as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
It should go to the admin, I think, which you know it will go to orders at sterlingwireandcable.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Who is that one, Leah?
I was gonna ask you. Who is,
Okay,
or is it Sterling? Oh,
that is a
I'm
good
probably
question.
that.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me.
I thought a few people had access to that.
The last person who
Okay, so
set
it's
it
for
up
those.
is Jack or Bill, I believe. Not Bill, Jack
Okay.
or Dave. I think those are the two because we work. Because this is I believe this is a new email account that was added to your on your end. So I think it's either Jack, Dave, or Bill will have the information on that.
Okay.
Daryl might have it as well.
All right. I'll double check on our end who has access to that address. But okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Okay,
Dave.
so I think orders is Dave, or I'm sorry, orders was Jack, but then the sales one, if there's one that goes to sales, that's really where that went to Dave. So we should change that to Leah.
Yeah.
Or contact email. But yeah, I think the orders is going to be Jack, but we should definitely double check that.
Yeah. I think we'll do that on our end with solution builders or something like that, and Jack.
Okay.
Okay. So
Let's go back to the home page. And then the next thing that I just want to go over before, so the basic content, we went over how to edit the email marketing. And then do you foresee you want to change any content on pages like about us or like resources is the other one that running right now? So these stuff, do you foresee that you guys want to change it? Because if you do, like beside the product tab, because I think service is the other one. So everything else on the website that's not product is what I consider a static page, which have a different flow on how to change in the content on those. Um, do you want me to go over how to change the content on these pages as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. So that will be on the online store. And the way that Shopify kind of set up is on the sales channel, online store basically coded for the website. Because they have other channels like Facebook, Messengers, um, Instagram, etc., etc. But online store is the website. So when you click on online store, the next step you want to go over is pages. And this is where you will be able to find all the static page that I mentioned. For example, if you want to change the content on About Us, you can just click on that. And it will basically like a Word document edit type where some of the functions on here, so you can do like align, bullet point, and stuff like that, changing the color, etc., etc. Um, and then you can also be able to highlight a text and put a hyperlink on that as well. But when we first started, basically this is where um, we get in the content from the old website, I think, because that was the direction that we took when we first launched the website. There's other stuff in here that was coded. So if you click on the show HTML on the top right, you can see there are other stuff in here that that was coded in. So again, if you weren't sure about a certain thing, feel free to reach out as well. But other than that, pretty much everything is similar to editing in Word documents. The other thing that you can do on the static page is actually edit the SEO of the website. Um, Basically, right now is getting everything that on the page contains right now. But if you want to edit, so looking at SEO, there's meta title, which is right here. It's like about us, and there's meta description, which is the basically the title. And what it is that if you go to google.com, for example, and then you search Sterling Oil and table about us, um, this is what it will show up. So whatever that you edit on this on the edit web SEO on this page, it will show up on Google. So if you want a shorter description, so you want to customize certain verbiage, this is where you will go in and click on edit website SEO.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. And like basically this right now, like I said, it's just pulling from the website content. But if you want to customize certain wording to make it shorter or like more straightforward, it's pretty much based on marketing, the marketing messages you wanna appear when someone search on Google. But this is what it is in terms of SEO. And this is where you will go in and edit them.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. And then same for all the pages as well. Some of the page where you see there are two columns to the page. Things like this, it basically has been coded in as two columns.
Oh,
So let's see, line column. So this is what is up here on the front end, but on the back end, that's being coded in to make it look like two columns. Again, I think either you just go in and making sure that whenever that you edit something, it's inside like this type of mark, this type of sign, everything in there, you'll be able to edit them and won't affect the coding on the website at all. Um, other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. Um, so like, for example, right here, if we don't want to say view, we want to say visit. Just make sure that you edit it inside this this mark right here, and then if you hit save, um, I think it catches right away. It's not catch yet. And then that's the other thing too. Sometimes when you edit something, it's not showing right away. It's because it's being cached, which means that the server it still have the old content on there. So if something doesn't reflect right away, um, give it a couple minutes for it to go into effect. So like what I just did is to go into incognito on the website, um, private window, and then if I paste in the same link, you see that the new verbiage are being changed on when I go into incognito. Because when you go into incognito, there's no data that was saved that affecting the cache of the website.
That makes sense.
Yep. So let me change it back. And everything that you see, again, if you see this kind of like mark right here, is sign, is the template, the liquid template that already been built by the third party data. So usually I would not advise to go in here and try to change it. Because it just basically is being built by a third party data logging. So I just leave it like that. For the home page though, there's a different way. Because the home page is basically we build it with the theme that we purchased. So for the home page, what you want to click on again is click on online store and then click to customize. And then so this is where anything that wasn't, if you cannot find something that in that pages tab on the online store that we just went to, most likely it's because it's being either built in the product section or the theme, the customized theme section. So when that happens, like I say, we'll go back to online store and click on customize. And here you kind of see what the front end look like. But if you look to the left, this is what the back end look like for different sections on here. So like this, for example, we have it drop down right here. It will be under this image right here.
Oh, I see. Oh, nice.
And you can change it. There's a couple options on here that you'll be able to change. That you want, like how you want the size, the height, the text size, overlay, etc. If you want to show an arrow, which is the what's the main size? It's basically this image right here. Is what you trying to edit on. And then you can change other things on here as well. And then if you click on that top one right here on the content, you can actually change the image on here and how you want. So this where it say wire and cable specialist, that's a heading, so you'll be able to change that wording in here. The high quality products and service that's in here, basically. Um, and then you can change what this buttons will say. So like shop now will lead to the all product page, basically. Um, and then if we go back out, the out top brain is basically this collateral of the logos right here. So you guys
Right.
can actually shape them around, and then just changing them basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. And then you can actually sum up the functions on here. When you see the 6 dot right here, you can actually hover it, and then you'll be able to move it up and down if there's certain brain that you want to highlight more than the other. Um, and then in order to delete something out, you just click on that one, and then click on remove that, and then it will just remove it out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the nice thing about using this theme is that it also some of the functions is front end editor, which means that you have the visual to look at when you like move them, and it's really straightforward um as well. Um so like if you keep clicking on that, it'll have more brain. Um and then in order to add more, because right now it's hit the maximum, so it won't allow you to add more brain. But later on, if you delete some of this out, you can add a new brain if you want to. Um, and then this is just all the styling settings that you'll be able to work around with. So like outer brain, um, instead of saying outer brain, you can change that verbiage. Instead of saying browse all, you can change that verbiage as well. You can be able to put in more text in here as well. The nice thing about having this too is when you change it, it will change on the front end, but it won't reflect to the live side until you hit save on the top right.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep. So like
That's
if you
very nice.
wanna kind of set up everything and change everything to your liking, um, you can actually do that with the visual up here on here. But until you hit save on the top, it won't go into effect. So you have a little raised area where you can kind of just mess around stuff. Um, without being scared to like break the website or whatnot. And usually most of this is front end editor, so it will show you what it looks like right away.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yep. And then the last one is the show column. Right now it's 7, so you can actually change it to like how many logo you want to see at one time. So if I change to 5, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logo showing. Um, and then it will keep scrolling, or like the user will click on the arrow. Um, but basically, you have the option to change it on the style as well.
Okay.
Yep. And then that top range popular carries is this 4 right here. Um, and then again, just click when you click on those, that will show you the content or the sections of each of them. And then you click on them, you'll be able to swap out the image, select the link. Because right now this one go to like the 3M only product. Um, so later on, if you want to change that link, you could as well. You can be able to put in description under that if you want. So if you want to, like, again,
Oh,
if you want to invest more on the content of the website, most of the content from on the live side right now is basically the direction which just kind of copy what the old side has, without putting more content on that. So if you want to put like changing the verbiage, or changing the content, this is where you would want to go in and do it. Um, and then at the bottom, there's more option for you to kind of mess around with. Right now the column showing is 4, but if you want to change it to 3, then it will just appear like something like this. And the size is auto size, so when you change it to 2 or 3, it will automatically increase the size of the image and everything.
Okay.
So you can actually change the look of the website. Just depends on if you like how you like it. The reason why we do 4, so then people can get through the homepage easily. So that was the intent on that. Feature item is this one right here, showing the product that you guys want to point the customer go to. But if you want to change it to something else, this will be where you click on. And then just pay attention to the link. So like if you go to, so when you click on, let's say you click on where's a link right here, it will have the options for you to what type of link that you want to point or you want to utilize. So the first thing in here is the collections, and that's where, because when we build the product in here, everything is on the collection itself. So there are certain things on here that you can just point the user that depend on what product you want to highlight on the website. So like let's say instead of showing it 10, 15 cables, you want to point the client to the 3M product. You can also click on that as well. And then it would just show them, and then that will be where you change the link. But to change the actual image of product showing on here, you have to actually scroll down, and then where it says collection layout, that's where you want to change the actual product on there. So instead of showing the 10, 15, 10 gauge one, you want to change it to like the 3M product. You can just basically click on that, and it will change what feature item you want. So now it's showing SWC 2080, 2081, 3070. Again, it just depends on what collection you want to select. It will just reflect that on the front end. But the only thing that I would say is when you change the collection layout, make sure you change it under the link on the top as well. So when people click on the feature item, that will actually go to the correct collection.
Okay.
And then there's other sections that I call. There's other section on here too, but we're not utilizing them, so that's why right now it's not showing right now. But there's things that you can do to like add more things on here. So like if I enable the more department, this is like the template that they will have, and you can actually just change it again by clicking on and select what each content and kind of just customize it on how you want it. But it's another layout that you can utilize to change the website. About us is this section right here. You can change the image to a certain image that you want to change. And then if you want to change the verbiage on here, you just go down on the text. It will have a text box for you to change it. And same for the heading. So if you want to change about us or like about selling wire and cable, this is where you want to change it on the front end.
Okay.
And then the last, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead. I'll.
Okay. No, the only sorry, there are the two things that I still have not gone over when we do customize is the header and the footer, and this is where if it will appear on every pages, and if you change it on one, it will basically change on every single pages on your website. So that when I click on header, it will have this kind of option for me. So that if I click on menu, etc. This is where I don't believe this is live right now. Yeah, I don't think we changing anything under the customize under this on the customize on here. I think everything that in here is leave in like this because I think there's a different spot for the header. But for the footer, no, I don't think this is it either. Oh yeah, this is it. So on the footer, you can actually change. There's different tabs on here. So contact owner is verbiage right here. Whether you need help, call our award-winning support team at this number. To be able to change that. There's subscribe, which is this newsletter box right here. There's shop, where you can actually put the menu of what you want to filter on here. Information is the other menu, which is this home, product, services, resources, about us, contact us, and there's a contact tab, which is all of your info right here. And then there's other things in here like copyright, which is right here. I would not change it because I think it's very standard. But I think theme settings. Oh, so before I go to theme setting, what were you gonna say, Leah? Because I think that right now we go into a different session. So let me know what question you have.
Yeah, I want to know how easy it is to add a page.
What type of page that are you thinking?
I want to add a careers page, for instance, and
Yep.
maybe I don't always need it. Like for instance, if we are hiring, I'd like to put it on and then hide that page whenever we don't have any open positions. Is that an option?
Yep. No, it's not difficult. In terms of there's only two steps that you want to work on. The first thing is if you go back to the home the dashboard, online store pages, you can add a page by click on this bottom top right here. Click on add page, and you'll be able to put in the title. So you can click a career, and you can put like verbiage in here. And then you can actually highlight, so like view applications, and then you can just add in type a link in here if you want. You can actually upload a file in here, and then it will open up a PDF. So let's see. So like, do you have your job application in like a Word document or like a PDF?
So I actually, in this case, I have a posting through Indeed, and I think they do have something you can embed, which I'm guessing I can change this to HTML, and they probably have a code available.
Yeah, so you
where I
can either embed it or just hyperlink it.
okay.
So, because I think if you want to keep everything on Indeed where people can go to Indeed and apply on it, so like on the view applications, you would just click on this insert link right here, and then you will, where it says link to, you will actually click on like the Indeed posting that you have. For example, I'm just putting something as a placeholder right now. But like you can actually put the actual link on here, and then you can change the verbiage. The only thing that I would advise when you do have a link that leads to a different website, um, I would advise to open the link in a new window instead of the same window. Because you don't want them to kind of leave your website. You kind of just want them to like open a new tab on their device, and then when it's done, they can actually get back to the website if they want to. But that's the only thing is that just make sure that you do open this link in a new window, um, and then you just insert the link in there, and now your page will be so you can so you save so like if you save this page, it won't appear on the website anywhere. Like the only thing that people will get to that page is they actually know what the URL of the site is. So like if I go down and copy this link, um, it will be a live page on here, and this is what the site looks like or the web page looks like after we just try to put in like the placeholder. I don't think this is yeah, it's gonna show 414 because the link was not. It's just a dummy link. But when you do that, for me, like usually when that you can actually either you want to set it visible or if you want to completely hide it, you can just change it to hidden. And then now even with the link that I have, it won't show me any results when I click on that link. So that's another method you can actually hide them. Um, but if you want to make it visible, so that's the first step is to create a page, and you can actually add in more image on here too. So like if you want to add like any kind of image, just like some kind of just graphic on it, you could too. And so when you do that, it won't appear like people won't know how to get to that page unless they have a link if it's visible. And so that's the first step. The second step that you want to do is actually put it under navigation. So on the online store where they have like all the tabs here, you want to click on navigation, and then this is where you want to go to the main menu. And I would advise when you change something on the menu, on the main menu, like click on the full menu as well. But if you do main menu, this is where you can add new items. So like, let's say you want to create a tab, say career. You do career, and then when you click on link, again, the mechanism is that it shows you all the options that you can just navigate to. So you click on link and then click on pages. You see the new one that you just created right here is career. If you click on that, if you add it, again, everything is not saved until or not reflecting on the lifestyle until you hit save. But you make sure that you have to add the side or the tab to the navigation. You can move it around if you want. You can make career as a sub pages. So if you look at the primary page is products, but then they have sub pages like by brand, by wire type or use, or like by and then 3M approved cable. So these are all the sub pages. Um, and if you just drag that career on the like if you drag so right here is still a page, but if you move it to the right, it will become sub pages of about us. And how you know if there's a page has sub pages or no is that this triangle right here. If you click on them, it will drop down the sub pages of uh each page. Um, so again, and then if you want to move it out, you could just move it out too. Um, but again, it won't affect until you add it on. But if I do say manual, I'm just going to do it so we can see it. might not go in yet because of the cache. Just now have the career tab on there, and when we will click on that, they can actually go to the page that we just created. But I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So just to recap, basically to add in a new page, you want to do two steps. The first thing is creating a new page on the pages tab, putting your content on there. You can make it visible or hidden until you're ready to publish that. And then you can use the text box right here to kind of change everything. And again, you can edit the SEO down here as well. Otherwise, it will just grab whatever content that's available on the page content. And then after that, after create a new page, then you want to go to navigation, and that's where you need to put the new page into the navigation so people can actually access that from the menu on the top.
Okay, perfect. That I think answers all the questions I had about the pages. I don't know what you were going to move on to next, but one of my questions was going to be about how the items are shown in Shopify when they're shopping for them. For instance, we have the UL 1015 and we have several different gauges. So, is there a way for customers to go to a page that would show UL 1015 in general, and then, it would list out all the different gauges and colors available in that UL style, like subcategories?
Yep, yep, and that's all. That's all under collection. So right now,
Oh,
if someone know, they can just type in 1015, and then search results. And then this is how the easiest way, to do, to show all the 1015 style. And if they know the gauge, then like they can actually put in that, and it will just show the 1015 at 22. And this is all the products. The other thing that you can do is to point them to that direction. And in order to do that, you will want to do the collection itself. So let me back up. So on the product right now, if you click on product, click on collection. You can create a new collection if you want. So like I think I already have one in here that the UL and CSA style. But if I click on that, if you click on the existing collection, you can create the conditions on how the collection being created. So like in this instance, each of the products which will go over this spreadsheet right here, the Shopify master template, but each of the products have been, beside all the info that they have on here, each of the products, there's multiple things that was added to the tab, on the tag. And this is the easiest way to create a collection basically. So that you can see I have for the 1015 on the tags, I have multiple tags in here like the UL and CSA style, 1015, 10, etc. So this is a condition that you would use to creating a new collection. And you can definitely add the image up in the collection image. So if I click on here, I'll be able to just add any image. As for that collection. Let's see. Product. Text images. No, that's create. Product images. Okay. Product. Product. Product images. 10, 15. And then let's say I just want to use the generic image for that collection. I can just add it into it. But the way of this collection was set up is anything that the product tag is equal to UA or CSA style. And then when you click on this, arrow or the triangle up and down right here, that will show you all the existing tags that are available on the website. And this tag again was imported by this Excel file right here. So you can actually select more than one. So like I just do like UL and CSA. And then if I save it, now you have a collection that is UL and CSA style table. And if you're gonna go back up to this popular category, let's say under popular categories, you can add another one in. And then let's say if I just want to select like a normal image, I can upload it as well. So just gonna do one for test right now.
Okay, so can you have a collection within a collection, or do you just continue to make different collections that filter the products based on whatever conditions you give it?
You can actually do both. Cause right now, so like let's
Yeah,
say,
like can I go into hookup wire and then go to a specific UL, and then it'll show all the different gauges available under that UL?
yep. So right now, if I click on the hookup and lead wire, this is what this is where the product bar on the left. This is the filter bar, basically. So you can go on the categories, and then you can navigate more. So right now, this is all like you can put a collection inside a collection, so it will appear on here. So let me back up. So like if I do under hookup and lead wire,
Yeah, like under the UL and CSA wire or whatever, then we would do 1015, 1007, 1569,
yep.
and those
So like
each of
let's
them would.
say let's say I want to create another collection. So let's go the first method, which is the filter itself, like the filter bar itself. So if I go in here, under color, I can select different color. So this is the front end, right? This is what the client see when they go to this page. But on the front end, you can do different color. You can select the 1007, 1015, 1061, 1569. So that is the options, and then you can select the gauge. So like you can select different gauge. And so those are the options that the client can do. So like let's say I just want to navigate to the 1051 at 10 gauge. So right now it doesn't show me anything. So then that might not be available. But if I do 10, 15, and then 20.
Sorry. Yeah, I see that you can filter. I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but can you go to one of these parts? Doesn't matter, any of these parts. Yeah, that one's fine, or that one. So I wanted to see, like, is there a way that this page would be showing under the color? It would have all the different colors listed, and the customer would select the color, and then there would be like a drop down list to select the gauge. Is that something that Shopify is capable of? See, because you can select the length. So I'm wondering, can you select the gauge? So instead of having an individual item page for every gauge and every color, if I could have a page for UL 1015, and it would list out on a drop-down list of all the gauges that are available, and it would go ahead and show all the colors.
Yep, it is easily available, and it's actually what we recommended to Sterling wire cable when we first started. Is to have all the color, all the gauge, all in one product. Because I think the first, so like basically each of this handle or each of this link, 0 is the color, I believe, and then I think 10 was the gauge. I'm not quite sure, but the name of the product kind of just coded for itself, but that's something that possible, and we recommended it. But from the direction that Sterling Wire Cable One, you guys want to kind of just separate each different color by itself, because I think what you were mentioned is on the options. So like in this option right here, I can just group all of the products together um, in terms of color, and then under variations, I will just put different variations so that will instead of black, 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 I will put black, brown, etc., etc. So that is possible. It's just that that's not what was there, but it's there if you want to change it too. You can do so like I know we kind of jump ahead now, but this is what I will be working with in order to change in it. Um, and then we'll have under option here, we can do color, we can do gauge, we can do length. Like here, we can do like gauge, and then we can do different one, 10, 15, 14, etc., etc. So each of these is available. We just have to revise this master template to cater to that.
Okay, so these
actually
would have to be made.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
And it's actually very nice because when you click on different color, it will show the actual cable in that color as well.
Oh.
So it's all dynamic. It wasn't built like that. But if you want to change it that way, we could do that also.
Yeah, wouldn't it be a little bit easier to manage too, like all the prices and things like that, if it was all kind of more under a UL style, and then it branched from there, so that it was all like, the colors are selectable from that page, the gauge size. I'm not sure if that'd be possible, but yeah, I guess I'm not sure how it would work with this template, but I see what Leah's saying. So
no, I totally agree.
Yeah, that.
I think that will be better. In my opinion. We recommended that when we first started the website. I'm not sure why you guys would want to do it this way. So I would say kind of double check with Daryl and Bill and see why would they want to kind of separate each different product on their own separate page.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be too hard.
Yeah, I honestly, I was curious to know why, but I actually am not gonna get their direction on that. It doesn't make any sense.
I think from what I gather, because I asked the same question too. Is what you guys were thinking right now. I think the reason for it is because the name, from what I remember and from what I understood, is because the name of the product, which were exported from I think QuickBooks at the time, is basically coded based on again the gauge. So I think 1015 is a style, 10 is a gauge, 105 is a strain, and then 0 is a color. So I think the reason why we not group them together is because on your end there was a lot of work to kind of like consolidate all the names together, basically, because I think that's where like instead of having 1015 10 -10-105, that's 0, it's just going to be condensed for the title to become 10, 15, basically.
Yeah, that also
Um,
doesn't make sense. Customers are not going to shop that way. I kind of understand why they were thinking that. It also sounds a little lazy, but I kind of see why they were thinking that. But again, it doesn't make sense. And I'm wondering so couldn't we have the title UL 1015 as opposed to the title being 1015 10 1005 0? And then would Shopify be able to give a unique name to each selection? So when a customer starts filtering out, okay, I want 20 gauge, I want black, then we can output, okay, for 20 gauge black, that part number is 1015 20 10 0. You know
yep,
what I mean? Dash,
yep, that will be,
100 for one.
yep,
Oh
that
yeah,
will
I
be
see that.
under
Okay,
the
see,
SKU. So for the big picture, basically everything that having the same handle is gonna be in one page. So picture picture this whole thing right here. Anything that have the same handle, which is which is on the top right here, will be under this page. So that handle for its unique product, it will get their own route in the Excel file. So like that's why you
okay,
kind of see here, the top one is the one that having every single um cells that we're filling, because that will be the default for that handle or the page itself. But anything after that is basically you go into the variations. Um, and when I say unique products, it's basically every time that you have a variable that will be considered a unique product and will need an additional page. So I'm just gonna do this real quick to kind of demonstrate how that will work. So let's say with your idea, basically, um, what I will do. So let's say we revise this, right? So we just have it 10:05 for everything, and I copied it. So this is the test page.
nice.
Um, so this is what it would look like. And then you have the description right here, the spec sheet, the link to the spec sheet. So we might have to group all the spec sheets together if they're all different. And then the description right here. So right now it says black. So maybe we just have to delete that. But when you wanna like revise it, everything in one, you basically just have brown, blue, red, and then all of this will be deleted because I just need to keep the same. Um, I didn't just keep the same. So let's say let me separate this so it's easier to look at. Delete. Hold on.
Okay. And I don't mean to jump ahead, but in this case, would we have a line for it would be black, and then there would be black 1,000, black 500, black 100.
Yep.
Would it have to be like that, or you just have to name the options one?
No, you have to do each of them. Um, for every option, they need a because it's variable between black 1000 and black 500. You need two lines for those basically. So like right here, um, it will be insert, and then it will be black again. But then instead of 1000, you have 500 basically. So lane, hold this. So then brow 1000. So that's this is like basically, and then here you have gauge, and then you can do like 10, 14, 15. So each of the for each variations or each unit of them, you need an actual line for that.
Okay.
Okay. And this is something we could do on our end. So we take that
Yep,
spreadsheet and we would go, well, we would actually start with gauge. So it would be, the gauge would be 10, and then there would be 10 black 100, 10 black 500, 10 black 1,000, and then repeat for
correct.
all 10 colors, right?
Yep,
Okay,
Yep, that's
that makes
that's
sense.
how it will work. So like again, every time that you have just one variable, you need an actual row for that product, but they all share the same handle in this case, which gonna be the 10, which is gonna indicate that was the page. So eventually when you do that, here it's gonna say 1007 instead of the three number after that. The skill will change depending on how people click on that. So that's why for
Nice.
each for each route it needs a skill as well. So skill very important because each of them. So like instead of label things like this, I can also just do 10, 15 black, let's say gauge, engage, and then 100 lane, something like that. So when So eventually, when you change it on the color, it will show all the color. On the lane, it will have 1,000, 500, 100. It will be another field that added in here, say gauge. Um, and we'll have 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And then the client, because it's a required field, the client needs to actually select each of those variable, and depending on what they select, it will it will have the different skills right here, and you can actually do the same for the um the description as well, but that will be more work for your end. But if you want to change the description, because right now either option one, you have a very generic description, and then it will apply to all of them, no matter what color, what length, or what gauge they select. So that's one option. Or the second one, you will have a more specific description depending on what they select on those three options or the three variations, but you can actually put each different description down here. So also with this Excel, if there's no information on Excel, it will take the default setting of that same handle. But if there's an actual information on that cell. So like for example, this image right here, this is where you will alternate the image for different products. So this one right here. So first one is this one black. Um, this one also black, but then this one will be brown. So like because each of these cells have their own image, when client click on different color, it will change the color of this cable right here.
Nice. Okay.
Yep. And same for those image, the length, same for the weight, because I need to have different for like for the lane itself, because I don't think the weight gonna change between color and gauge, or maybe gauge, but so between gauge and lane, the weight will change. So I need a different information on this cell. In terms of like cow, and then um the pricing is also important. So each of this cell will need a different number because the pricing will change for each route. Um, but that's pretty much what I will need in order to revise everything.
Okay. And then yeah, I was just gonna. That's kind of, I guess, that answered my question. Then I was gonna see how easy it was gonna be to change prices on things, and but I guess that
Yep.
falls right in line with what we're just talking about. So
Yeah. So let's go back to the official. Um, right now, there's two ways that you can change the price of the product. The first, So there's always a front end way to edit things, and there's always a back end way to edit things for products on Shopify. This Excel file, the master Excel file that you're looking at, is a back end right now. And let's say if you want to change the price of this 10, 15, 10, 1050, you just change it right here where it says variant price. You will want to change, so like instead of 220, I can change it to 210. And then also another thing that I will mention before, with Shopify, you can have variant compare at price and then variant price. And then usually the variant compare at price is basically like the retail price. So like it's usually higher than what you guys selling for. So if you have this info in here, what it does on the front end, so this is the back end. So after I change this Excel file, I will go back to the Shopify product back end, and then I will import the new revised file. And the only thing is that it had to be a CSV.
Okay.
Because right now we added in on the XLSX format, which is the Excel format file, and it allows us to have multiple tabs, the formula, the color, and everything. But when it converts to CSV, it's very minimal. Like I can add a file, and then let's say if we select the file that we just did, so usually what I usually do is after I edit in the Excel file, I will file, save as, and then change it to CSV to be able to import to Shopify. But let's say if I just do like a test, if I do CSV, what I usually do when you edit something, it will be like override. You need to click on override any current product. The most important thing is to keep the handle the same of the existing product, as long, so this is how it finds the new info that it needs to be updated on. It's based on the handle.
Okay.
And the handle
So
is basically the URL
so
of the
then
product.
so then feasibly, it'd be pretty easy to do this in mass because, for all the different prices, I could have, the 1,000-foot put-ups. I could pretty much VLOOKUP them from, directly from an exported file from QuickBooks, and then for
Yep.
each of like the 500-foot put-ups, 100-foot put-ups, you can just set those values to be, times,
Yep.
0.95 or times 0.9, and then so
Exactly. Yep.
so then all you'd have to really do is have your VLOOKUP find the 1,000-footers for each one of those spots, and then it pretty much would
Yep.
adjust all your pricing on the fly pretty quick. So.
Yep. And that is why this is why we use the master template, basically, because it just allow me to move a lot quicker. So like this right here, like if you look up my top one, this is the formula that I have, basically. And when I play this formula, that basically pull out all the tags that I need. Same for the pricing. Sometimes I just dragging them down. So I think the reason why we do this is just so I move a lot quicker when I know exactly what I need to change, and then be able to use formula and copy and paste, etc., etc. So I think some of the bottom one, so like this, for example, is copied from here. So that's how my formula basically works. And like this right here, I basically reference to another tab on here. So like this say SWC, so like it will be A256 of this tab right here. So if I go to A, to SL, A256. So that's how I kind of wrap it. Because this is what the QuickBooks export look like.
Okay. Yeah, and that's just an exported file from QuickBooks. So.
Yep, and so basically what we did in the past is when I think Jack or Daryl sent us this file to have everything in this format, and then I basically just go in here and then kind of toggle between the two tabs and wrap in the exact info that I need for each different cell on this front end, which is the Shopify master template. And I move a lot quicker. And then I can show you guys the front end. The front end is actually easier. It just won't allow you to do bulk editing, which is an important function. But let's say if you want to just change one of these, so I just click on the 1007 1626 if I click on that, it's pretty much everything you see on the front end right here is basically equal to a cell in this Excel file, basically. So like you can see body, right here, the pricing, the tab. So like this is where the body, the title, you can add images, there's variant that you can add in. So this is where I add, this is the variant 1500, 100, and this is where if you scroll down to variant, and then you slide to price, you can actually change it on here and hit save, and same for tag. It just takes you a lot longer because you have to actually go into each different product and change it. And you can select what collection it belongs to, basically.
Okay.
And then the other thing, the other pushback is that when you change it on here, it won't reflect on the Excel file. So that's why we build a centralized place for every info to be synced together. So that you can change it in here, but if you do, kind of make sure to write a note down what you change on like the price or the color or whatnot. Because when we use the master template and if we don't know if that field has been changed, it will just reflect the all data of that one particular product that you change it on the front end.
Okay. So will it be easy to change everything on the front end in mass? Because obviously if we're going to change everything, we don't want to list each individual part number as, 16 gauge black. So it would be 16 gauge dash 0, 16 gauge dash 1. Like we want it just to be 1007 and then they can filter by that. As we were saying, is it going to be easy to deactivate all those part numbers? It really will cut down the part number list, at least on the front end, I would imagine, and then.
Yep. So the easiest way for us to establish that is using this Excel file right here. And I think we might need an additional sections on kind of just walk through, like when you guys know exactly what you want to reflect on the front end. I think it would be a good idea to kind of meet again to go over this spec sheet. But in order for disable all the products that basically, let's say, is wrong on the website right now, let's just call it like that. All I need to do is changing the publish, which is publish from true to false, and then I can just copy that and then apply that to the entire spreadsheet right now. And then we'll change everything to false. And then when I go back and import the new file in, it basically just disable or hide every single product that in the old way that is existing on the website right now. So kind of just answer your question. To change the current product info inventory on your website to the new way, the best way is to utilize the master template, and we're just changing the content on here. But I think we need to figure out how you guys want to group it, and then when you guys let me know what or how you guys want to group them and change them, then we can meet again to kind of just walk through what we need to establish or what info or what data I will need from you guys back in a certain format, so then I can just go ahead and change it everything on the website. Um,
Okay.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, um, so I think that will be a good safe way too, because I think we went over the first three, and I think we can just kind of, before we go in deeper into the spreadsheet, let's come back after you guys know how you want to group them, and then we can come back to kind of review the product sheet, if you guys okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. What was that you said? Sorry, can you repeat?
Just saying, like, I think we went over the first three of the agenda
Oh, yeah.
basically. And before we go in deeper into like the Excel file, the master Excel file, let's come back another day on how you guys want to establish the how the product inventory to display on the website, and then we can come back and kind of go over the spreadsheet again on what info I need. But I think for now we can just go ahead and do the last three. Because I think we kind of running close to time too. But if we want to do the last three, and then we can meet up at different time to kind of go over what the revisions of the product inventory on the website is.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Um, so the next thing is order status. It really, when you get used to Shopify, um, and then I think, oh, and then I forgot before we go, um, I would say like when we do grouping them, just think of the collection itself, like how you want, basically from a user experience standpoint, how you want like put yourself into a client's shoes and just think of how they will navigate to a different group of products, because I'm not too familiar with how cable industry works. So like I'm not sure if like if you guys think that it'd be a better way for people to actually look for like hookup while or like by searching by the 10, 15, but there's a all there on the front end. Like I say, we'll be able to, the client be able to search on the top. When they go to a different product, there's filter bar on the left. So I think this is where you can also kind of just filter them. And then when you go to the individual product, again, it just depends on how you want to group them, but it will make the inventory a lot simplified, I think. Um, but that's like Shopify will accommodate most of the options that you have. It's just a matter of how you want the user navigate through the product on the website.
Okay.
Um, so for the order, when it come in again, the notification will be sent to orders at sterlingwire and cable.com. But when you log into the back end, this is where you see like all the order coming. Um, and if you click on each of these, you have like what the detail, what the shipping address, what the order number, or the what product did they order, every note that they put in. Um, and then if you scroll down, kind of just a timeline of the order, You can put more stuff in here or communicate with the clients as well. You can see how they convert to this order, visit the website, and then they basically order that. Um, and I think one of the questions earlier is the fraud, like how you know if they like a legit order or they like scam or whatnot. Um, and I think Shopify done a very good job at like establish the fraud analysis where it will let you know if how they based on the different criteria if it's in the order is like legit or no. Um, and then low meaning that's like a safe order. Um, and you can kind of click on full analysis to see how they measure if the order is legit or no.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, and then you, so when it first come in, it won't say fulfill, it will just say paid. Um, and then basically you will like ship out that order, and then here we'll have a button right here, click say fulfill, and then you have to click on that, and then the client will get a notification email saying that the order has been processed and fulfilled. If you have tracking number, you can also add it in here. Select shipping carrier, and then you can send a notification email to the customer as well.
Nice.
Um, and there's more actions on the top as well. But I don't think you will need these options a lot besides the refund function. So that, like you can actually refund the order for the client through um, Shopify. So you click on that. Um, so like this will have all of the things that all the options for you. So you like change it and then if you need them to ship back, or you have to click on refund item, and then you can put the refund amount on the client on here. Um, so those are the options for you.
Okay.
Um, after they order it, because I think all of these are the test order, but if it's the actual client that would order through Shopify after they order it, you can actually go into settings, um, payment, and it will show you the payout. So it will be on the payout. So let's say if the client pay $500 for that product, it will appear on here. Is that you have, because usually what Shopify does is will hold the money on you. So that's what they call payout. Is when the client pay, and then it will go to Shopify payment, and then they will take the fee that agree upon. So right now it's 2.9% plus 30 cents for the transaction or the credit card fee. Um, and then after that, um, Shopify will transfer that money to your bank account that which we link the bank account, the payout bank account on here as well. And the payout schedule is to schedule every business day right now. So every day where you have an order and you have the money in the payout, it will transfer to the bank by the end of the business day.
Okay.
Another thing on orders is that under abandoned checkout, um, you gotta see. So sometimes, let's say the client waiting, um, and then they order on your website, um, they add it to cart, view cart, uh, check out. Okay. Let's see. It's showing here. Not yet. I have to put in multiple. Sure. Sometimes it takes time to see abandoned checkout. But let's say if the client like got their email into the system, but for some reason they exit out or leave that page, um, it will show on the abandoned checkout that someone put an item into their car, but they didn't go through and buy it or pay it, place an order. It will show in here what the checkout number, who placed it, and then it will automatically send out a recovery email. Um, so the recovery email basically just say, hey, you forgot an item in your car. Um, click here to buy them, basically. But it's just like another marketing, email marketing method to kind of encourage the client to kind of fulfill the order and place the order on the website.
Okay.
Uh, and you can click
We can go
on,
over analytics next time.
what's that?
Oh, I was saying, we can go through analytics next time.
Yep.
You know, as time continues to shorten.
Yep.
With the chat program, it sounds like I can go in there in the apps and decide what we're gonna pay for and what we're not gonna pay for, the features that it has.
Yep.
In the Tidio live chat. Phil, you had mentioned that, or he had mentioned that, you guys are also logging into the chat. What are you guys doing in the chat program?
So that's when we first set up. I have, because I need like an email to set up the chat program. But then I was when we basically put more operators in there, I will mention that we can delete ourselves out of the chat program. Um, but when I do that, I won't be able to like configure anything else from that point. So I think Daryl had mentioned that to keep my name in there just so I can help with configuring who's in here or changing the setting. But if you guys are comfortable with it, I would say I can definitely remove myself out, and then you can just take the chat program from here at this point. But there will be on the settings, um, and then on the account, that's where um, you can add in more operators or like eliminate more or like eliminate people out from here. Um, so this is all the people that are currently in the chat program right now. And I can definitely go ahead and delete myself out, or actually I had to change the account owner to the new account. But after this point, I won't be able to get back in here unless you guys give me one of your login from your end. But this is definitely something that we can definitely do. Is to transfer the ownership of the chat program to your end.
Okay, do the user emails, do they need to be real emails? Like, what if I changed it to orders@sterlingwireandcable.com for one and sales@sterlingwireandcable.com for the other, and then you guys can have the third one? I mean, it's just for a user, right?
Yeah, and it's just pretty much for notifications. Like when someone chat on the website, um, you guys will get a notification. But when we actually advise is that you log into the chat every day, during the operating hours, which is 7 to 5 p.m. right now. Um, and then you can see you will get a notification on here as well.
Yeah, I downloaded the desktop app, so it just is always open. I know some people still just go through the web portal, but I don't know. I do get the emails still, but usually, my little icon on the bottom is just flashing orange. But yeah, if I do forget to open it or like somehow restart my computer and just don't remember, then that doesn't pop up, and I would only notice from my email. So
Oh, okay. So if nobody was logged in an example, then it would just send it to all the operators, or
right, yeah, right
what would
now
happen?
I think it just sends it to me and Cynthia, and it's like, hey, so and so there's a chat on your web or on your Tidio.
Okay. So then if I use orders and sales, then it's going to direct like it would, where it would go into Dave's email if I go to sales, and then with orders, whoever's under that group, right?
It'll go to their email. Yep.
Yep. And you have to
Okay.
use
So
you have
yeah.
to use this web browser and the desktop or the desktop app to reply then back to them. So I think to your point, the email is just more for notifications and not the function
Yep.
of the app itself.
Okay. So I think I will move forward with that change, and then I'll go through it and see if I can change, like, I guess I would go to project and billings or account, something like that, um, to change all the features that we're paying for. I mean, I know I would go down the users, but it sounds like there were some other things that we were doing with
Yep.
them,
So
or
that
like
will
they're
be
charging us full.
yep. So that will be under
One.
billing. No, you're right. So project and billing, and then you just add it on here. Um, and this is where you can kind of just remove. So on the right is what you're getting right now. Um, and then you can do down. You can click on each of this um, to kind of go down and whatnot. And then after you do that, just make sure you update subscription. Um, and then it will change to. But before we update everything, so like let's say we go down before that, we would just need to change, make sure we change it on here. So then it doesn't block or it doesn't require to delete more after we done that.
Okay, that sounds good. So I will confirm with Phil on the email that he sent me about the users that I want, and I'll actually change it from Cynthia and Mila's emails to orders and sales, so that they're a little bit more generic, and we'll still get the emails. So um, I'll do
Did,
that, and then you can still keep the project owner or whatever account.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah. Well,
so
just let us know what you guys want, um, and then we can
Yeah.
just change it from there.
so
Okay.
Leah, are with the free option, that's what you wanted to still go with?
Well, now that I look at it and see the breakdown, I still want to pay for the chat bots. That's fine. I just want to limit the users to 3. And for the 2, I guess I didn't realize we had the orders email grouping, so I'll change one of those to that and the other one to sales. And then the third one would be TAM, and then that's what we'll do for that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
No.
If you wanted to
Yeah.
pop that over to me in an email, just so we have backup for everything, then we'll get it all taken care of.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you that email later.
Sounds great.
Yep. No, sound good. Um, but yeah, I think when basically just the chatbot is what we have in right now too. And the chatbot is basically just the automatic chat that pop up when someone land on the website. Just again, just kind of a little bit more intuitive and proactive on how we communicate with the potential clients. But let me know. Yeah, so this is the breakdown. Right now, chatbot is 5K visitors reach at $18 a month, and then communicator, um, we can change it and whatnot. So these are the things that you can change. But let us know and then we can change it. But other than that, the chat, I think we went over that time. It's pretty straightforward. Um, but
Yeah.
do you have any questions or anything? Um, because I think that was the last section on our training. So at this point, I just try to just open the floor for any questions on remain info that you want to kind of still go on.
Yeah, so I think that was really informative. Thank you so much. Really, really helpful. I think I'll want to follow up with maybe do like half an hour to an hour next time, kind of go there and maybe do one just focusing on the Excel spreadsheet. Not sure if we would need to allocate 30 minutes to an hour to that, and then do a separate one to talk about analytics. And I feel like that can be done in about half an hour maybe, and we'll do that separately. What do you guys think about that?
Oh yeah, that sounds good. I think 1 hour will be good for like the product updating, just to get like the overview of it. And then we definitely will working through after that. But I think that sounds like a good plan. Just let us know when you guys are available, and what you want to kind of just discuss, and then we can go from there. But no, I think that's a good
Okay.
plan.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, I don't have any questions as of now. Mitch, do you have any?
No, I think I'm good.
Nice. Alrighty.
All right, well, thanks, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you
you
so
guys.
much.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All
Take care.
Bye.
right, bye.
Bye.